And the find of the century has been made by researchers from Manza University in the San Jose vaults of Zoom, a well-known conferencing platform. In a recording going back over 2,000 years, we have the first tangible shots of Jesus, Son of God and founder of the Christian religion. And we hear from his parents and all those involved in the Nativity story surrounding his birth. Experts have used the latest technology to enhance the old digital store so that today, here and now, we can both see and listen to this remarkable piece of history. The Nativity story, retold by those who were there at the time.
Can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Balthazar, can't you hear me?
Why isn't he replying? Melchior, you can hear us, can't you?
Very well, thank you. We've got barn out here, broadband for roaming nomads.
Why aren't you together? Casper, where are you?
I'm in the same tent as Melchior, just on my own laptop. They're so useful for researching the stars, much warmer than standing outside looking up. Balthazar's down the valley somewhere.
Oh, well, we'll press on and hope he gets it sorted. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming to little Jesus' third birthday. I'm so sorry we can't be with you in person.
I'm so glad you escaped to Egypt. It's been horrible here. Soldiers everywhere looking for the boy king.
Talking of the boy king, how is little Jesus? Donkey wants to know, don't you? He looks so full of peace. Tell me again about his birth. Donkey, you want to hear the story, don't you? We love it when you tell the story.
Jesus loves me telling it him too. He smiles so gracefully and then falls asleep. It all started a long time ago.
Well, 4 of your Earth years ago, Joseph. I remember it as if it was just happening.
Well, Gabriel, that's because it probably is for you. It must be strange being an angel, living for an eternity.
Well, yes, but wonderful. Something for everybody to aim for whilst on Earth. It's so calming up here.
It wasn't calming when you first came down to see me. I nearly leapt out of my skin when you first spoke.
Sorry, I forget how loud I can be.
It wasn't just that. It was telling me that I was going to have a son, God's son. Well, I never.
No, you never. That's why it was an immaculate birth. Or when we realized the meaning of all the signs, we were so excited. God's son was going to be born on earth.
It may have been exciting for you. It was scary for us. Poor Mary, unmarried and going to have a child. Poor me, what would people say? If I still married her? Well, you were very brave to say yes, Mary.
And you, Joseph, ignored what everyone thought and did what was right in your heart.
Plus, what I said to him in his dream.
I was so proud of you, Joseph, despite what they said about you.
Oh, hello, Mum. Hi, we were just talking about you.
Oh, Joseph, my boy. Nothing bad, I hope. I've always tried to do the best for you. Now, where's Jesus? My lovely little grandson. Let his mama see him.
Here he is, Mama. I'm glad you could make it.
Oh, it's you, Mary. I hope you're feeding my little Jesus well. I want him to grow into a nice, strong boy, just like his father.
I think we're all hoping he'll grow up to be just like his father. Strong, good, loving, and maybe he'll get Joseph's nose.
We were just telling ourselves the story of Jesus' birth, Mum. I just got to the point where I was about to marry Mary.
Oh, my poor Joseph, always caring for others, not thinking about what people would say. I couldn't show my face in Nazareth for months afterwards.
I'm sure it was their loss, not yours, Mother. Anyway, it was a busy time. What with the census being taken, and everyone having to go back to their hometown to register.
And just when Jesus had grown big in my stomach, I could hardly walk to the well, let alone to Bethlehem. Thank goodness we were lent donkey.
Hear that, Donkey? That's where you come in. You went with them to Bethlehem, carrying Mary with God's son Jesus inside her. I had to go that way once and it was horrible. Lots of dry land and so little water. You must have been very thirsty, Donkey. And such a poor road. So many rocks and holes in it. It's a good job that donkeys are so sure-footed and gentle. So you could carry Mary and her baby safely all that way. I'm so proud of your part in the story, Donkey. You're my hero. And I want to be as gentle as you when I grow up.
And when we got there, it was packed.
Yes, Donkey, every inn was full of people returned for the census. There was nowhere for you to get some hay, was there?
It was very worrying. Where was our baby to be born? I was afraid he was going to end up coming into this world in some back street of Bethlehem.
Thank goodness for our kind innkeeper.
It was so busy when you arrived. You were too late to get a room. There wasn't one to be found for love or money.
But you took pity on us.
Well, to tell you the truth, it was my wife that pointed you out and said I should do something. You looked so young and fragile and yet glowing with life. I couldn't leave you in the street, but without even a cupboard in the inn, what was I to do? That's when I thought of the stable. It's always warm in there with the heat of the animals, and there was lots of straw in there for bedding. I know it wasn't much, but it was the best I could do.
And that's all that anyone could ask of anyone else, to do the best you can do. But why are you wearing armour? Are you a soldier now?
No, I have a day job. After baby Jesus was born in my stable, I felt that I needed to do more than earn money. I needed to help people.
So you became a soldier?
No, the Romans do the soldiering, Pax Romana and all that. I'm a town guard. I keep the streets safe, take the party revellers home, stop thieves and help the lost. Once I saw Jesus, I knew I didn't want to just make money. I wanted to look after rich and poor without fear or favour.
All that from my little Jesus. I knew as the Son of God he'd make a difference in the world, but not so soon.
How could he not? He's so full of peace and grace. He's changed my life.
Oh, and I suppose me and my celestial choir of angels proclaiming the birth of God's Son as you looked after your sheep in the hills had no effect.
Well, to be honest, me and the lads thought it was a bit blingy.
Blingy?
All that singing, all that light. Didn't you trust us to believe that God's Son was born on earth? We were amazed.
There were some angelic harmonies.
No, we were amazed that you came to tell us. Most people look down on us shepherds. We're the lowest of the low, outcasts, shunned because we smell of sheep and can rarely make church. No one wants us around. Yet God sent the angels to tell us. He thought us worth telling. In fact, he told us first. Why would God come to tell us? It made us realise that the lowest
And the smelliest.
and the smelliest are equally important to God. It made all the difference to me and the lads. And once we saw Jesus, that was it. We just want to sing his praise with all our hearts, soul and mind.
I'm so pleased, but it's your gift of a little lamb that we remember the most. He lay down with Jesus and kept him warm through those cold early nights.
I remember that time. The night skies kept clear of clouds for weeks and it dropped to freezing overnight. Jesus was lucky to have that lamb to cuddle.
Well, that's so we could see the star, the sign of the birth of God's Son, the sign for us to go to worship him.
Oh, we thought that was just some more of Gabriel's blink.
No, it was the sign. And even though people look up to us where we live, because we're very clever, very wise,
And very rich.
and slightly rich, we knew that someone far more important than us was coming into the world. So we got ready as quickly as we could to travel to find the newborn king.
It only took us a year.
Well, there were things to sort out, meetings to cancel, stuff to pack, presents to buy. Camel caravan doesn't just appear like a mirage from the desert. Well, it can, but not your own. You know what I mean, don't you, Balthazar? Oh, you're still muted. Anyway, that's why it took so long to get ready. Then we had to travel across the desert, and then we went to see King Herod, because, well, we just thought the new king should be born in a palace.
Not so bright, eh?
I know. It was a bit of a surprise to us that Herod didn't know anything about it, but he did seem to take it very well. And he even said he wanted to worship the new king when we'd found him. Anyway, that took some time to sort out. So, I'm sorry, Mary and Joseph. It took us 2 years to come and worship Jesus. However, I'm glad we got there in the end. And gave Jesus our gifts of gold, frankincense and myrrh. I hope you found a use for them.
Well, the gold funded our flight to Egypt. At least you didn't tell Herod where to find Jesus.
Actually, that was due to Gabriel's warning.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry we didn't know that King Herod lied to us and that he really wanted to get rid of the new king. Though maybe we should have foreseen that. I think we've learned that thanks to coming to Jesus, it doesn't matter how clever, how wise or how rich you are, you can always learn from God.
That is such a lovely story. Don't you think so, Donkey?
And my wonderful son, God's son, has already made such a difference to so many people.
I've learnt to do what is right in my heart.
I've learnt to be gentle.
I've learnt to help people.
I've learned that everyone is important to God.
We've learned
That you can always learn from God.
And Mama, what have you learnt?
Well, I suppose I learned that what you do is more important than what other people think of you. And Mary, thank you for being a wonderful mother to Jesus.
Oh, Mama, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of my little baby story. I'm really sorry, but we've actually got to go now. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ah, found it. I've learnt where the mute button is. Can you hear me? Oh, everyone's gone. Oh well, a happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.